Think hatchbacks are slow? Think again. Some of these 2025 hot hatches leave Lamborghinis in the dust and cost half as much. From electric beasts with instant torque to turbocharged monsters tuned for the track, these aren't your average grocery getters. But wait till you see number 1. Its 0 to 60 time will blow your mind. Ready to have everything you thought about hatchbacks flipped on its head? Let's race into the countdown. Number 10. 2025 Hyundai i30N Performance. The new i30N Performance is the fire-breathing finale of Hyundai's first-generation N hatch. Under its wider fenders sits a 2-liter turbo i4 making 206 kilowatt and 392 nanometer of torque. That power goes to the front wheels through an all-new 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, yielding a claimed 0 to 100 km/h of about 5.3 seconds. In other words, the i30N bolts off the line almost as fast as some older supercars, a huge leap for a $30,000-ish hatch. What makes the i30N special is its analog driving spirit. It's one of the last pure front-drive performance hatches, with a hydraulic mechanical limited-slip diff, adjustable dampers, and an active exhaust. Drivers rave about its light but precise steering and the way it grips curvy roads. For 2025, the i30N gains a slick new dual-clutch box, though purists could still choose a 6-speed manual in some markets. Hyundai also offers the N Performance Pack, special 19s forged wheels, Brembo front brakes, and a big rear wing for added downforce. Visually, the i30N Performance screams track-ready. Its grille is extra large for cooling, while red accents peek out on the splitter and brake calipers. The interior is equally focused. A flat-bottom N steering wheel and bolstered sports seats keep you planted, and the 10.25 digital dash gives you a full readout of boost and torque. Tech-wise, it's simple, but the cabin does offer modern touches like a 10.25 infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Base price is mid-$30,000 and it's sold in Europe, Australia and other markets. For the price of a regular hatch, you get nearly supercar thrills. Looking ahead, there's talk Hyundai may eventually replace the i30N with an electric N, but the existing model will soldier on in 2025. Regardless, the i30N Performance proves a front-drive hatchback can still pack a wallop, making it a thrilling number 10 on our list. Now at number 9, we have a hot hatch from Spain that delivers blistering pace with plenty of style. Number 9. 2025 Cupra Leon 300 PS 2.0 TSI. The Cupra Leon is seat's wild child, tuned by the Cupra performance arm. The range-topping 2-liter TSI engine churns out about 296 horsepower and roughly 400 nanometer of torque. That propels the Leon to 0 to 100 km/h in about 5.3 seconds, with an electronically limited top speed around 250 km/h. Like most in this class, it uses a 7-speed DSG automatic sending power to the front wheels. What sets the Cupra Leon apart is its driver-focused flair and kit. Cupra's designers have stuffed it with sporty details, a Cupra emblematic honeycomb grille, matrix LED headlights with a unique pattern, and generous carbon fiber highlights. Standout touches include race-inspired bucket seats that cradle the driver through hard cornering, and even a carbon fiber rear seatback cover inside. The cabin is tech-rich too. A sharp 12.9's touchscreen infotainment system handles navigation and entertainment. There's also a fully digital cockpit, wireless phone charging, and Cupra's Connect services, all wrapped in vegan leather and Alcantara trim for a premium sporty feel. On the chassis side, the Leon uses Volkswagen Group's MQB platform but adds Cupra-tuned software and suspension. The optional dynamic chassis control system lets you dial in more or less body roll, while the brakes and steering have been upgraded for quicker responses. The 300 PS Leon is FWD, but note Cupra does offer a plug-in hybrid variant with AWD, though that's less about outright sprint speed than efficiency. In the UK and Europe, a new Leon Cupra in the high 300 PS range starts around £32,000 and climbs to roughly £49,000 for a fully loaded model. It's sold across Europe and select markets, but not in North America. In short, the Cupra Leon delivers nearly 300 horsepower performance in a stylish hatch. It's a true wolf in sheep's clothing. Look at it and you see a sleek Spanish hatchback, but put it to the floor and it lunges like a rally car. Coming up next, before unveiling our number 8 pick, Let's tease what's ahead. Imagine a compact hatchback dicing with high-end sports cars on twisty roads. Not one, but two hatches on our list can compete on handling and power with beasts that cost twice as much. Number 8. 2025 BMW M135i xDrive. BMW may only call it a 1 Series, but the M135i xDrive is pure performance hot hatch. For 2025, it uses BMW's latest B48 2-liter turbo engine. In Europe, that means about 296 horsepower, while other markets get a tweaked 312 horsepower. Torque is roughly 400 nanometer. With all-wheel drive as standard, this little beast hits 100 km/h in about 4.9 seconds, almost supercar territory for a hatch. Top speed is factory limited to 155 mph. What makes the M135i extraordinary is how it combines BMW M-car prowess with hatchback practicality. The exterior wears its aggression lightly, flared wheel arches, a sporty lower valance and quad exhaust tips on the M Performance package models. There are new kidney grills and a sculpted rear bumper. Inside you sit in firm M Sport seats, flat-bottom steering wheel, and prominent carbon or bronze trim pieces. Digital gauges display full torque and speed readouts. Connectivity features include a large screen with BMW's iDrive interface. Underneath, the M135i's suspension is stiffer than a regular 1 Series, and it gets an active front-locking differential along with the standard AWD system. BMW's optional M Performance package brings even bigger brakes and 19-inch forged wheels if you want track-ready hardware. This car also inherits tech from the M division, launch control and aggressive drive modes for go-kart-style driving. The M135i is sold worldwide. In Europe, expect a base price around £56,200, making it pricier than a Golf R or Civic Type R, but competitive with the Audi RS3 and Mercedes-AMG A45 rivals. In the UK, it'll be around £45,000. 2025 updates include a subtle facelift and new outputs. Future rumors hint that this could be the last petrol 1 Series M car before electrification. For now though, the M135i xDrive delivers flagship hatch power and handling in an M car package, earning it the number 8 spot. Coming up at number 7, a longtime champion of the front drive hatchback scene, now updated for 2025. Number 7, 2025 Honda Civic Type R. The Civic Type R needs no introduction among enthusiasts. The latest 2024-25 model carries over Honda's potent 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, rated at 315 horsepower and 310 pound-foot of torque. With a sophisticated suspension and a fierce wide-body kit, it rockets to 60 mph in roughly 5.3 seconds, significantly faster than any prior Civic. Top speed is in the 169 mph range. Honda's claim of 5.3 seconds for 0 to 60 is a conservative figure. Testers have seen mid-5s and a quarter mile under 13.5 seconds. Drivetrain, front-wheel drive, 6-speed manual only, with no auto offered. What makes the Type R special is its balance and feedback. Honda has engineered record-setting handling. It famously broke the FWD lap record at the Nürburgring. Inside the chassis, you'll find aggressive camber, ultra-stiff roll bars, and a limited slip differential, all tuned to fight understeer. The steering is electric but is calibrated for sharp response. Unique to this generation is an active locking diff, ALB, inside the DCT. Despite having a manual, Honda left the tech in the torque converter housing. It clamps on oversteer to tighten rotations at the limit. All this tech means the Civic Type R feels like a go-kart on rails. Grip is outrageous, and you can point the car with astonishing precision through corners. Styling cues shout performance. An enormous rear wing provides huge downforce, triple center exhaust outlets rumble with character, and wide fenders air vents all around keep those turbos cool. Brakes are Brembo 4-piston units up front. Inside, Recaro high-bolstered seats hold driver and passenger firmly. The cabin gets anodized red trim and a red ambient light, plus a digital climate display and an infotainment system that's thankfully been upgraded. Even the steering wheel has a red Type R stitching logo. The new Type R debuted late 2023 in Japan and Europe. In the US, it's expected around mid-2025, with base price in the low $40,000 range. The last gen was $38,000. Its build is shared globally, Japan, UK, US, but specs are largely uniform. Little has changed for 2025 beyond minor trim tweaks. Honda's focus was on refinement rather than bigger power, since 315 horsepower is already extreme for FWD. In short, the Civic Type R remains the benchmark for driver-focused hot hatches. Fearless acceleration plus supercar-like cornering. At number 6, we shift to Japan for a brand new firecracker, the Toyota hot hatch that took many by surprise. Number 6, 2025 Toyota GR Corolla GR4AWD. Toyota's GR Corolla packs the punch of a small rally car into a 5-door hatch. It shares much of its DNA with the GR Yaris, but in a Corolla shell. Power comes from a 1.6-liter turbo 3-cylinder, yes, a 3-pot, producing 300 HP and about 295 pound-foot of torque. That sounds modest until you recall the car weighs just 1,400 kilograms and sends power to all 4 wheels. Toyota calls it GR4AWD. The result is blistering pace. The GR Corolla hits 60 miles per hour in roughly 4.9 seconds with the 6-speed manual version, or about 5.1 seconds with the optional 8-speed automatic. Those times put it neck and neck with rivals like the Cupra Leon and even close to the older Civic Type R. Top speed is quoted around 160-165 miles per hour on a good track. What truly makes the GR Corolla special is traction and handling. Toyota's GR4 all-wheel drive system can bias torque front or rear, up to 50-50 distribution, to maximize grip out of corners. In practice, this tiny beast dives into turns with fierce composure and launches out with a roar. The chassis has no shortage of performance bits. Fully independent suspension with adaptive dampers from the GR Yaris, Brembo brakes, and wider wheel tracks than a standard Corolla hatch. Toyota even took tips from its GR racing division: multiple oil coolers, differential coolers, and unique tritone exhaust mufflers tuned for an addictive noise. Visually, the GR Corolla wears its engineering on its sleeve. It has bulging fenders to fit 18s/19s wheels, deep front splitter, and an enormous carbon fiber wing on the auto version. The manual's wing is fixed but smaller. Glossy black trim pieces accent the body, and GR badges adorn everything from the grille to the brake calipers. The triple exhaust tips are a dead giveaway. You're in the performance line. Inside, the focus is also on sportiness. Recaro front seats with blue inserts, GR stitched wheel and shift knob, and a digital gauge cluster that lights up in red in Plus R mode. For 2025, Toyota even added an internal Tommy Mäkinen edition, Japan only, and a special carbon version with extra aero, though the US GR Corolla is only available in a Premium and Premium Plus trim, around $50,000 top end. Price and markets. In the US, the GR Corolla launched at about $42,000 for the base Premium, up to around $50,000 for the Premium Plus. It's also sold in Canada, Japan, and select other markets. There's no European version. Europe has the GR Yaris instead. Toyota has announced a 2024 refresh in some regions and even an upcoming GR Corolla Rally homologation model, but the 2025 model we see here is already incredibly well sorted. Essentially, Toyota's GR Corolla is a pocket rocket. It delivers supercar levels of grip and acceleration in a deceptively plain-looking hatch. The top 5 are coming soon, but first, a quick recap of the nail-biting action so far. We've seen hatchbacks attacking the unbreakable boundary of 3-second runs and 180 miles per hour wind-ups. Which one excited you most? Now let's find out which hatch takes the crown. Number 5, 2025 Renault Megane RS Trophy. Renault's Megane RS Trophy is the Gallic speedster of our list. The 2024 Megane RS, last of the 4th gen, cranks out 300 PS, 296 horsepower from its 1.8-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Torque is a stout 400 nanometer, 295 pound-foot, all sent to the front wheels through a 6-speed manual transmission. An auto is available on the non-trophy model. Performance figures: about 0 to 100 km/h in 5.4 seconds and an electronically limited top speed near 165 mph, 265 km/h. Blistering for a FWD hatch. Renault Sport, now RS, has packed the Megane with handling hardware. A 4-control rear-wheel steering system is standard, causing the rear wheels to turn opposite the fronts at low speed, tightening turns, and the same direction at high speed. Stability. That plus the wide track and sticky Michelin Pilot Sport tires give it uncanny agility. In the trophy version, the suspension is race-tuned with stiffer springs and hydraulic bump stops to absorb hard compression, so the ride is stiff, but the cornering is razor-sharp. A Trick Torsen limited slip diff, available on the Cup chassis, locks up to put power down out of corners without torque steer. The exhaust note is gruff and hard-edged, thanks to an active valve and a muffler placed under the hood for extra roar. Design-wise, the trophy gets an aggressive wingback rear spoiler, larger front intake ducts, and side skirts to improve downforce. Rear quarters are flared and the wheels fill them nicely. In-cabin, the Megane RS is sporty and modern. You sit in deep Recaro seats with red accents, surrounded by black red stitch trim. The flat-bottom steering wheel has a yellow stripe at 12 o'clock, and the digital gauge cluster has a focus mode that highlights power and turbo boost. Notably, the trophy comes only in a manual. Renault tuned each shift to be pleasingly mechanical. Looking to 2025, Renault has already unveiled the next-gen Megane RS at Frankfurt with a smaller 1.8-litre engine, 276 HP, and an automatic option. However, the current RS trophy remains on sale until mid-2025 in many markets, and it's a formidable hot hatch in its own right. With deep racing roots, Renault Sport was born on the track. The Megane RS is a brilliant blend of power and precision. It's sold mainly in Europe and the Middle East. Expect UK prices from around £42,000 and £60,000 in Germany. The RS trophy embodies true hot hatch DNA. Picking it up always raises the question, can this really be a normal hatchback? Get ready, because the fastest 4 are about to blow the roof off. These hatches warp speed and technology to levels that leave supercars looking over their shoulders. Number 4, 2025 Volkswagen Golf R. The Golf R is the icon of high-performance hatchbacks, and the 2025 version pushes it even further. At its heart is a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder with about 315 horsepower in standard form, or up to 330 HP in the special R Performance trim. Torque is roughly 400 nanometer. All versions use VW's famous 4-motion AWD system and a 7-speed DSG automatic, allowing a sprint to 100 km/h in about 4.4 seconds. Performance pack. And a top speed around 167 mph, 270 km/h, with the performance package ramped up. What makes the Golf R unique is that it's both blisteringly fast and remarkably refined. Underneath the sleek Golf body, now smoother and more aggressive than ever, engineers have installed a finely tuned AWD differential and a reworked suspension with dynamic chassis control, adaptive dampers. The result is supercar-beating grip with everyday comfort. In track mode, its all-wheel drive Haldex coupling can send up to 50% of power to the rear, plus the car's new drift mode lets skilled drivers slide it on demand. Exterior changes for 2025 include a more chiseled front end with bigger air intakes and a new honeycomb grille, plus a pronounced rear diffuser and quad exhaust outlets. Inside, the Golf R offers premium touches: 19-inch wheels, black leather Alcantara seats, and carbon fiber trim. The dashboard features VW's latest tech, dual touchscreens, and an all-digital virtual cockpit display. In short, it blends German luxury with rabid performance. The new Golf R will go on sale in 2024-25 globally, US, Europe, etc. In the US, expect a starting price in the mid-plus $50,000 range. Higher in Europe, £62,000. Dealers are already quoting options like the $1,500 performance package, raises the top speed and adds drift mode, and the optional Akrapovic exhaust, while $2,400. With the performance package, VW even unlocks a 167 mph limiter, making it one of the fastest street-legal hatches on Earth. Simply put, The Golf R remains the yardstick. It looks like a simple hatch but runs like a rocket. Number 3. 2025 Mercedes-AMG A45S. The AMG A45S is a menacing beast masquerading as a small hatchback. Its 2-liter 4-cylinder is the most powerful production 4-cylinder in the world, 416 HP and 500 Nm of torque. Mated to a lightning-fast 8-speed dual clutch and Mercedes' advanced AWD system, the A45S rockets to 100 km/h in about 3.7 seconds, a time that, in any other era, belonged only to exotic supercars. In top form, it even touches 168 mph when unfettered. This power is complemented by equally ferocious handling. The A45's AWD system is torque vectoring. It can send nearly all drive to either rear wheel for neutral cornering. AMG also tunes the suspension with stiffer springs and optional adjustable dampers. The ride control sport. The chassis is set up very low, and the car sits on 19-inch wheels shod in ultra-grippy Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. The steering is direct, and the brakes, with optional carbon ceramics, are massive. You need them when a hatchback chews up little sedans off the line. Styling cues are pure AMG, a huge front grille, the Panamericana style, flared wheel arches and a big rear wing, standard on the S model. Quad exhausts and carbon fiber trim hint at the fury beneath. In the cabin, AMG performance seats hold you tight and carbon Alcantara trims abound. A fully digital AMG performance dashboard shows torque, boost, and even lets you configure drive programs. Fun fact, the A45S has a drift mode. Selecting it with the ESP dial turns off stability control and locks open the clutches so you can slide with AWD like a rally car. Originally launched a couple of years ago, Mercedes has kept the A45S at the top by continual tweaks. It remains the last entry on this list that debuted in 2021, but fear not, it's still killing it in 2025. Price, around £69,000 in Germany, £57,000 in the UK and in the US. It sells as the CLA 45S Coupe sedan at about $58,000. As a real-world thrill machine, the A45S proves a hatchback can actually outperform supercars in acceleration, earning it a confident number 3 on our list. Number 2. 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5N Electric. Stepping outside the combustion engine world, Hyundai's first N-badged EV is an outright track weapon. The Ioniq 5N swaps its standard long-range powertrain for a dual-motor setup with 601 electric horsepower, 448 kilowatt, and a jaw-dropping 570 pound-foot, 773 nanometer of torque. Thanks to battery instant torque, it hits 0 to 60 mph in about 2.8 seconds, eclipsing even the Audi RS3 and approaching crazy territory for any production car. Its top speed is restricted to around 162 mph, 260 km/h, which is plenty for a heavy EV. The spec sheet even boasted a N-E-Shift simulated 8-speed gearbox for that drama. But raw power is only part of the story. The Ioniq 5N is tuned by Hyundai's N engineers for driving thrills. It has selectable N drift optimizer modes to perfect power sliding, and a launch control that manages wheel spin. No traction when you want it. The regenerative braking system is aggressive too, letting the driver slow the car as if it were an engine, even up to one-pedal drive levels. Hyundai's software titans created special N-E-Shift gear shift graphics, 8 gears in the display, to amplify the race car feel. And this hatch-shaped crossover rides on sticky summer tires and an adaptive chassis to handle that power with confidence. The look is futuristic yet edgy. The Ioniq 5's blocky shape is softened by an aggressive front bumper, angled intakes, extended side skirts, and a rear lip spoiler. Wheels are up to 21 with a wide stance. Inside, it's thoroughly modern. Twin 12 screens for the gauge cluster and infotainment, and the interior gets unique trim. The test car we saw had N-specific graphics on the seats and steering wheel. Over-the-air maps and performance telemetry via the Hyundai N app keep it up to date. Being a global model, the Ioniq 5N will be sold nearly worldwide in select quantities starting in late 2023-2024. Exact price hasn't been announced, but expected to sit above the already expensive Ioniq 5, past $55,000 plus. So roughly in the pound $60,000 range or more. The Ioniq 5N is the first generation of pure electric hot hatches, and based on early testing, it proves an EV can dominate in acceleration and fun factor. It outpaces almost everything else on two wheels at this point, making it our number 2 pick, and a spectacular glimpse into the future of hot hatches. Number 1, 2025 Audi RS3 Sportback Performance Edition. Topping our list is the Audi RS3 Sportback, specifically in its latest Performance Edition trim. The RS3 uses a legendary 2.5-litre turbocharged inline-5, tuned now to about 401 HP, 299 kilowatt, and 369 pound-foot, 500 nanometer of torque. This ferocious engine delivers an unmistakable howl, one of the best engine sounds on the planet, and propels the car to 62 miles per hour in around 3.6 seconds with launch control. With the optional Dynamic Plus pack unlocked, the RS3's top speed is limited to 180 miles per hour, a staggering figure for a hatch. The drivetrain is as high-tech as the engine. Audi's Quattro AWD with an RS torque rear-rear differential splitter makes the RS3 uniquely agile. In normal driving, it sends about 70% of torque to the rear wheels, but the torque splitter can instantly adjust split left versus right at the rear axle. This allows astonishing cornering. The car can drift on command or claw out of a turn under full power. It also has a trick sounding board, an active exhaust with 2 modes, and a rev matching feature on downshifts. The 7-speed DSG transmission shifts at lightning speed, and the chassis includes dynamic ride control, tonal anti-roll bars on Performance Edition models. Aesthetically, the RS3 strikes a perfect balance between aggression and hatchback style. The Performance Edition adds special cosmetics, 20s matte grey wheels, carbon fiber interior trim, and option packages like black optics for stealthy black mirrors and badges. By default, it has widened fenders, large diffuser, and a sculpted roof spoiler. Audi's virtual cockpit gauge cluster gets RS-specific displays with boost and power meters, and the cabin is lined with sporty microfiber and leather. Comfort-wise, it's an Audi RS through and through. Supple seats, with optional RS bucket seats in carbon or Viennetta leather, plus full luxuries like a heated steering wheel, Burmester audio, and a refined suspension when you want to take it easy. The RS3 Sportback launched in 2022, and the Performance Edition, higher power, more carbon trim, arrived for 2024-25. In the US, the sedan version starts around $63,400, with the hatch, Sportback, slightly less. European buyers pay roughly £58,000 to £62,000 depending on options. It's sold worldwide, UK, EU, Japan, etc. And even in the US, as a sedan. In short, the RS3 Sportback is the ultimate expression of a street-legal hot hatch. A daily-friendly Audi body that out-accelerates and out-corners many exotic supercars. It's fitting then that this ferocious Audi earns our coveted number 1 spot as the fastest hatchback of 2025. Thanks for watching. If you loved exploring the world of luxury cars, don't miss our previous video, Top 15 Best Luxury SUVs in the World 2025. It's packed with exclusive details on the finest SUVs hitting the market this year. Click the link now to watch it and discover your next dream ride.